everyone, Zev Kershman here. Today we're going to talk about online reviews. We're going to cover why online reviews are very important in today's business environment and why you need them. We're going to talk about how to set up a Google business listing page for you to get Google reviews. And we're also going to go over how to effectively ask for reviews so you can automatically get a review from a client each and every transaction you have. So the big thing of why we need reviews today, in the past, word of mouth was the best way to generate referrals. And before the internet and technology and social media, word of mouth was king. Word of mouth is still king, but now there's a new age of word of mouth. And the new age of word of mouth is online reviews. So whenever you want to go to a restaurant, you hear of a new cool hot spot that you want to go to, typically before you do it, you're going to want to Google it to see, how are the reviews? Did people like it? Did people not like it? It's just very instinctive now with our smartphones. If we hear someone's name or we hear a new business, the first thing we do is Google it. And the most important thing is when people Google your name is we want to see what comes up, and you want the right things to come up. So for instance, I'm just going to show everyone my page real quick. So I just Googled my name, and here's my business page right here. So Zev Kershman, Coldwell Banker Sales and Realty, talks about my link to my website, all the reviews, hours of operation, where the address is, my phone number, and it goes into the reviews here. You can see we have 22 5-star reviews, which is obviously a great thing. And then over here on the left, we also have, for number one, my Facebook page, and it has my reviews there. So it just goes to show social proof. Right now, about 90% of consumers read online reviews before they contact a service professional or a business. So these reviews are becoming a lot more important. And now around 88% of consumers they take into consideration online reviews, and they're just as powerful as personal recommendations. So you definitely want to have this type of a service and this type of a review system on the website and on your website, even on Google, so that it's working for you 24/7. So anytime someone Googles your name, they can see how good you really are, and then that way it'll make them want to call you a lot sooner and a lot faster, and it'll probably generate some more business. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through setting up a Google business page. So ideally what you do is you would Google Google business listing. It'll pop up here. It's the first page right here. I'm already signed into someone's Google account. I'm making them a business listing for now, so we don't have to sign in. We'll just go to Start Now. Otherwise, you can sign in with your Google account. Otherwise, you have to set up your own Gmail account. I'm doing a review page for the My House team. So we're going to do My House team, Ottawa. Obviously, we're in Canada. We're just going to fill out the address. We're 80 Aberdeen Street, Ontario. You'll fill out all this information just based out of which brokerage you're based out on, or which brokerage you want to pop up when people Google you. So just fill in the information accordingly. Here we're going to enter real estate, and then it pops up a few different things. Real estate agency is the best thing to use, and then we're going to put in your website URL. This could be to cbsrealty.ca, and it can go to your own personal page there, or it can go to your own website, whatever you prefer. Just in terms of simplicity, we'll just do cbsrealty.ca. I can show everyone how to change that later on. Goods and services, yes. Go to continue. Okay. Let's just say, for instance, there's a 10-kilometer radius. You can also you can choose that depending on which neighborhoods you service. So sometimes something will already kind of be done for you accordingly in terms of Google, just depending on how the system's picked up some of your information. So you might have that little information where it's already done for you. You just kind of merge the two together. Obviously, you click on your authorized to manage the business and read the terms of service. What's going to happen from here is you're going to have to, it'll have to be verified. You'll have to verify the business page. Typically what happens is, so from here, so the business is verified. So the one step that we miss is typically they have to be verified, and the only way you can verify the business is you'll have to click on another window that says you'll accept to have Google send you a little postcard with a verification code. You'll get that verification code in around, I don't know, 7 to 10 days. You just log back into here, you click in you put in the verification code, and before you know it, it'll all be set up. Then in here where the fun begins, because you can start to manage everything accordingly. So if we go into edit, we can edit all the info. You can add hours. So if you want to say you're a 24/7 business, I mean, technically we're, this is a 24/7 business. We all work long hours. If not, you can kind of just keep it as office hours. But just for the sake of what we're doing, we're open 24 hours a day realistically, because if you can call or text us or email us, we can respond to you. But that's to your personal choice. It's all pending changes, special hours. There's no store code, there's no information. We'll go back to home real quick. Thanks. And you can manage photos to add whatever photos you'd like for people to see, so you don't have to worry about that. So we'll deal with all that later in terms of setting up you can set up the photos as you wish. The most important things are the reviews. And we'll just go in here real quick and talk about managing reviews. Obviously, we don't have any reviews yet. There's a nice little link here you can learn how to use reviews and why they're important. But once that's set up, it's probably going to take Google about 2 to 3 weeks to fully SEO your business page to your actual name. So if you Google your name and you don't see this pop up right away, just be patient with it. Eventually it'll come up. And from there you can start asking for reviews. And I want to give everyone a couple tips about my best practices for asking for reviews. The most important thing I want to share with everyone is before you ask for a review, make sure that you feel the client's experience has warranted a review. The last thing you want to do is ask a client who may not be fully satisfied to write a review, because they may not write you the review that you want, or worse, they'll write you a very negative review, and that will not impact well on your reviews. Always ask in person if possible. It's just easier in terms of in-person communication. You can see people's body language and you can kind of approach the subject in a very specific manner. If you can't do that, then always do it over the phone. I find email is really impersonal. That being said, if you ask for the review in person or over the phone, always send them a follow-up email with the link. For the follow-up email, the best way to get the link to your Google reviews is to go to your Google page, click on write a review. You can copy this URL here and then paste it into your email browser. This is what most people will see here. Obviously, you can choose things accordingly. Everyone wants 5-star reviews, and then people can write in whatever they want from there. They can add a picture. If you take a picture of the client when they sell a house and you have the sold sign right in front of them and you're with the client, you can ask them to upload that. That's a nice little feature. I find the best time to ask for Google reviews is when a deal firms up. It's probably when your client's going to be the happiest and at the highest high of their emotional roller coaster, this transaction, and that's when they'll be most open to saying yes. It's the easiest time to get a yes, and it just makes sense. If you start to ask for it after they move in and after a few weeks have passed, that emotional high isn't there. They've moved in, they have to worry about moving, getting everything set up, getting their kids in place, and it just becomes too hectic. So always try and ask for it when the deal firms up. Perfect time to ask for it. Another nice tip is always ask specifically for what you want in the review. Don't just say, will you leave me a Google review? Because then people don't have guidance. You have to guide them in terms of asking them for what you want. So typically what you want is you want to ask for a 5-star review with the client's experience of working with you as an agent. That way you're asking for a 5-star review, so when they go in here and they say, okay, well, what do I have to do? Oh, 5-star, 5-star, that part's done. In here, okay, what was my experience like working with this agent? And that way they can just enter it in there simply, and it all takes care of that. after they leave the review, make sure to thank them with a follow-up email. Just say, listen, I appreciate, dear so-and-so, thank you very much for the review. I appreciate it greatly. It'll help me in my business in the future. And thank you very much for your business. Just a nice little way to end off that loop so it's completely finished. And just to give you an example here, once you have all the reviews set up and they start to go through there and everyone starts to look at them, you can always sort through them by either most helpful, most recent, highest score, or lowest score. I hope no one ever gets a low score. And then that way you can see here people can really start to sort through things. Sometimes people write very long reviews and they take a lot of time. There's a lot more to read. And it just goes down and everything just keeps loading. So the more reviews you have, the more it helps. Typically you want to hit around 6 or 8 reviews just so that there's enough of a sample size for people to say, okay, well, this guy just had 2 reviews, so 2 people could have written anything. This way, the more you have, the better. And with that said, I hope this helps. I encourage you all to set up your business page. It takes a matter of minutes, and please ask every one of your clients for a review or a testimonial. I've never had any client of mine ever say no, provided that I asked the right way and at the right time, and I wish you the best of luck.